All right, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? How is it going? I am Is There No One Else? And the video I'm bringing you today, we are going to go over the 6.2.2 patch notes. As you guys know, we are in the middle of the PTS season. I will be doing gear set reviews on the sets that I find interesting, talking about the different changes and all that. There'll be more of that coming out this week. I had to do a little bit of a delay on... I said I was going to try and get out my Stamina Dragon Knight and Stamina Nightblade build video. There's a few more things I have to test. Stamina Nightblade will be coming this week. I need to farm some more pieces for the Stam DK. So that's probably going to come out next week at the earliest. So, yeah, it happens. But yeah, that's not for this video. I just wanted to provide that update in case those of you that were curious. Let's dive into the patch notes. New Life Festival testing. Dungeons and group content, exploration and itemization, art and animation, dungeons and group content, housing, combat and abilities. All right. Item sets and passives that generate ultimate now require you to be in combat to activate to help reduce their ability to continuously enter a fight at full ultimate. Note, Pearls of El Nofi may still proc outside of combat in some cases and will be fixed in a future patch. Okay. All right, so some clever alchemist treatment, essentially. Fix an issue where some elemental status effects could fail to apply their auxiliary effects or activate their special interactions with a destruction staff skill line. Okay. Fix an issue where the charge, lightning, and bone wall synergies do not remove their synergies from others when activated. All right. Fix an issue where activating Blessed Shard synergy could remove other active abilities such as volley when synergized. Okay. Fix an issue where your block animation become desynced when using shield wall. Note that there is a known issue where it can still desync your stamina bar after activating. Yep. Fix numerous issues with heavy attacks, sometimes missing targets while strafing and weaving. Awesome. Pets can no longer be commanded to attack innocent NPCs if the prevent attacking innocents setting is on. All right. Warden Winter's Embrace, Frost Cloak. This is their armor buff. Fix an issue where this ability its morphs would fail to apply its visual effect upon cast. Can we do this for DK too? Volatile Armor also has this issue where you'll cast it, you don't get the buff, and yeah, it's annoying. Weapon, one hand and shield. Shield wall, fix an issue where activating this ultimate or its morphs while wearing item sets such as Frozen Watcher could trigger their effects permanently. All right. Destruction Staff, Ancient Knowledge, fix an issue where the block mitigation grant for this passive could fail to apply certain... Okay. Okay, just fixed issues. I'm going to scroll through. I haven't read these in advance, so I know a lot of this has been boring so far. I'm trying to figure out what's important. Frenzied Momentum, this activated effect now looks more physical in nature rather than appearing as fire damage. Okay, this is Frenzied Momentum's the new 2H set. I did that gear set review last week where it shows red. We'll have to see what the new one is. It's not going to be worthy of a video, but hopefully it's just as pronounced of an animation so you know you have it. Void Bash, the radius on the debuff explosion visuals now matches its proper radius. Okay. Crafted set, Oblivion's Foe readjusted the set's minor bonus to now grant the following bonuses at their standard levels rather than granting up to 211 of each resource. Recovery. 129 weapon and spell damage, 1487 pen, 657 crit chance, 5-piece 129 weapon and spell damage. Wow. That's a huge change for Oblivion's Foe. On top of, okay, so I can't remember what Oblivion's Foe got changed to for the 5-piece, but this makes it a pretty good damage set on top of the other bonuses that you're getting. I'm going to have to go look at that one. I'm going to have to go look at this later. PvP source sets, Cyrodiil's Crest, fixed an issue that prevented these sets from dropping its bows or staves from several sources. Ravager fixed an issue where the set did not work with the new hard-coded major and minor breach. Oh. Ring of the Pale Order. The set now has a maximum heal of 3750 before bonuses to help reduce its healing potential in PvE. All right. Before we dive into that, as we've seen a lot discussion on the set, we decided to put a maximum heal threshold on the set to help reduce the swinginess between PvE and PvP. We went with a value that was relatively hard to hit in PvP. You'll have to hit for 25k plus in a single attack to see this cap, but relatively easy in PvE. This should help lower the staggering HPS by 25 to 35% on most builds, although we will keep a close eye on the set. We're aware of the concerns that it has in terms of total healing output and how it impacts the relevancy of healer supports in endgame, and we'll be monitoring data on the item to see impact. Moving forward, we'll likely adjust the healing percentage and max cap from here on out if any further adjustments are made. Okay, so 3750 is going to be very hard to hit. If you guys watched my test, it wasn't a full build, like it wasn't a full gank spec. You know, you're not going to wear Ring of the Pale Order with a gank spec, but I was hitting with snipe at range, and I think my heal was like 32 or 3400. So even with the hardest hitting ability at range on, you know, more or less PvP style setup, I still wasn't hitting this cap. So this cap doesn't matter for PvP. I don't think. Snipe hits harder than D-Swing. D-Swing's one of the harder hitting things. The only time you would really get this high of a heal would be if your ultimate, like if you hit really, really hard with your ultimate. And I mean, 25k plus is going to be hard to do on just about anything. I'm trying to think of the last time I hit somebody for 25k. Spectral bows. That's about it. Leaps, I've hit 20, 22k in the past, not recently. So yeah, this doesn't really matter a whole lot. It's not like this is going to impact you a ton. So PvE, it makes a lot of sense because yeah, as you get more, I mean, we'll talk a little bit about it, but I could see how in a trial situation this could become very powerful, because if you have enough self-healing with enough dots on the ground and you have those constant ticks of heals coming in, that means you can potentially remove a healer from your group and you can add another DD, and that would help for score runs and stuff like that. And so on the PvE side, you know, there's that desire to have, you know, all forms, you know, the Trinity. It's you know, the goal to have healers be valuable, damage dealers be valuable, and tanks be valuable. And, you know, being able to remove a healer is, you know, if it's that strong in a PvE environment, it needs to get adjusted. So this makes complete sense. But yeah, we'll have to see what, you know, the PvE guys have to say. I'm just talking in generalities. All right, ability altering weapons. We are aware of much of the feedback for the new arena weapons for this update and are still in the process of making adjustments where necessary. Wrath of Elements. This should be the destruction staff. Fix an issue where this item set's tooltip was not scaling with damage bonuses. Ooh. Okay. This one will be one of the videos I come out with this week, because I'm very interested in that set. Frenzied Momentum. This is once again the 2H. Decrease the damage on heavy attack explosion to 9132, down from 10,384. Okay, so they dropped it down to what it was before. While generating stacks, you now gain 38 weapon damage per stack, which is lost after the proc of the explosion. Okay, so there's 5 stacks. So 5 times 38, it's like 100 and, you know, it's just under 200 weapon damage. So 190 weapon damage for a 2-piece. So yeah, you generate 5 stacks, you have 189 weapon damage before you use it. Plus you have this lower proc condition. And it also has a max stam bonus. Keep that in mind. So you get 984 or 960 max stam plus this 189 weapon damage before you go in for your combination, plus a proc condition. There's a lot of there's a lot of things on this piece. So on the plus side, you get weapon damage. Weapon damage boosts your healing. It boosts your overall damage with other stuff. Honestly, this weapon damage stacked with the stam makes this one of the better 2-pieces in the game. I don't know if those of you more math inclined than me, you can tell me if 189 weapon damage and 964 stam is better than like 1437 pen. I honestly don't know off the top of my head. That's something I would have to test. But keep in mind, like, you have to build these 5 stacks to get 189. You know, it's not hard to do. But yeah, like, you're not going to have the 189 weapon damage all the time. It's really only going to come into play, like, you know, if you're dodging for your life, you know, dodge rolling around, kiting and stuff, you know, popping vigor, hitting your shuffle, hitting rally, doing those sorts of things, that you can have 189 weapon damage for a while, which would be nice. But then you lose it as soon as you go on the offensive. So your first couple of hit, like your first medium weave, you're going to lose it. And so then you're going to lose it on your supplemental damage combination. So I know people are going to see this and they're going to be like, wow, this looks awesome. But honestly, it's, you get a lower proc, this isn't a game changer. You're still going to get a 3K-ish proc or whatever, which is free damage. It's just free damage for burst. But this is basically just going to really only impact healing. I mean, the only, which is lost after the proc of the explosion. So yeah, like once the explosion goes off, you lose the 189 weapon damage. So any follow-up damage. So yeah, you're not getting this damage on your combination. So when you use your stacks, you don't get it for 5 seconds, ensuring that, your full combination is going through. This is just kind of like, this is honestly, this just seems gimmicky. That's all. Like they're like, okay, we'll throw weapon damage on here, and weapon damage is welcome. I'm not a huge fan of procs. I've talked about this a lot. Having procs, having them lose the proc and go to weapon damage makes sense. I don't like this condition though, because this isn't going to be usable. This is only usable damage via healing. So when you pop your rally, you're going to have another 189 weapon damage to heal. But like I said, as soon as you hit your medium weave or your heavy attack, you're going to, lose these stacks. So anything you hit after that, you're not going to have 189 weapon damage for. So I think to make this 38 weapon damage interesting is you have 189 weapon damage with your stacks and up to 3 to 5 seconds after the explosion. Because then, whatever your combination is, whether you're on a Warden, Stam, DK, whatever, like then you can, when you medium weave and hit your Dawnbreaker, it applies to your Dawnbreaker, and this is only 100, like I said, it's 190 weapon damage. This isn't like 700 weapon damage, or 1,000. It's just, this is just under 200. So, yeah, kind of underwhelming. I think that change would actually make it kind of decent. Yeah. It's just a very, very weird proc condition right here. We'll quit talking about it though. There's no need to talk about it anymore. Increase the duration of the stacks and the window of your fully charged stacks last to 20 seconds each, up from 10 seconds. This should help grant the set's binary performance, where you're immediately punished from not constantly spamming stamina abilities and actively activating a heavy attack every 5 to 6 seconds. Yeah, this makes a lot of sense. It'll be a lot easier to use, be a lot easier to proc conditionally. Yeah. No, not a whole lot more to say there. I mean, that's just quality of life for the set, but this 38 weapon damage is I guess that's it. So yeah, that's the end of these patch notes. If you guys have any questions or comments, please provide in the section below. I will be going through all the mythic weapons this week, so stay tuned for that, going through all the different weapons, so you guys know if it's, in my opinion, if I think they're worth going out to farm from a PvP perspective. Then I'll start diving into the more interesting gear sets. I don't know how many I'm going to get to, but yeah, all that's coming